Welcome to thatsclassic.net, and today we're counting down our top 10 cartoons of the 1980s. For this list, we'll be giving you our top picks of the decade when it comes to nostalgic cartoons. Which animation is your favorite? Let us know in the comments, like the video, subscribe to our page, and click the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 10, Disney's Adventures of the Gummy Bears.
Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere.
It's absolutely no surprise that a list-ranking animated project is going to include at least one title from Disney. This time, it's Adventures of the Gummy Bears, a series that first aired on NBC on September 14, 1985, revolving around a group of playful creatures similar to teddy bears. These brightly colored and incredibly cheerful characters once lived alongside humans many years ago. The series perpetuates, and the Gummy Bears were forced to flee after the humans threatened their livelihood in a greedy pursuit of the bears' valuable resources. They found solace elsewhere and set up their new civilization across the sea, unbothered by humanity. Adventures of the Gummy Bears captured the Gummy Glen Bears' peaceful new lives for 6 seasons that ended after 65 episodes. Disney sets the status quo when it comes to animation 4 decades later, but the Gummy Bear series last aired over 30 years ago and remains a part of a timeless legacy, earning its title of our 10th best animated series of the decade. Number 9, Inspector Gadget. First airing on December 4th, 1982, Inspector Gadget revolved around the life of an out-of-the-box and not-so-bright detective, voiced by legendary actor Don Adams, best known for his role on the 60s television series Get Smart. He goes to battle with the evil Dr. Claw, the leader of an organization known as MAD, with the help of his niece Penny and dog Brain along the way. More importantly, Inspector Gadget is a notorious part robot, part human police inspector who has a diverse arsenal of, you guessed it, gadgets that help him complete his job with ease. But said incompetence made for a humorous and enjoyable affair for all ages, which allowed it to run for 86 episodes across 2 seasons, which ended in 1986, garnering the series 4 years on air before it was then eventually re-aired by Disney in future decades. Many of us are already familiar with Inspector Gadget, whether it be the original cartoon or the more recent live-action projects that have virtually redefined the franchise, making it our 9th best animated series of the 80s. Number 8, Heathcliff.
Heathcliff, no one should terrify the neighborhood.
Not to be confused with another orange cat, Heathcliff was memorable in his own right. Based upon an iconic comic strip of the same name that ran in papers through the 1970s, Heathcliff tells the story of a happy-go-lucky cat who is seemingly joyful to be alive, but must coexist alongside the multitude of humans in his life. Regardless, he continues to live his life as he pleases, often in pursuit of his next snack or female cat love interest. Heathcliff's character was voiced by Mel Blanc, legendary Hollywood voice actor and radio personality who worked in Tinseltown for 6 decades and aired for 2 seasons, which included 86 episodes that ended in 1985 after a year airing on October 15, 1984. Though not the most memorable orange cat of all time, Heathcliff was an important piece in entertainment during the 1970s, which snowballed into a successful animated series in the 1980s. Number 7, The Real Ghostbusters.
Something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call?
If you haven't been familiar with any of the projects mentioned yet, you should definitely be familiar with The Real Ghostbusters given its roots. Based upon the timeless classic film Ghostbusters and hitting airwaves 2 years later on September 13th, 1986, the animated series took the classic film from the big screen to television and from live action to animated, subsequently capturing the paranormal hunters in a new light.
Ghostbusters, we're still number 1.
Actor Dave Coulier, best known for his role on the 90s sitcom Full House, voiced Peter Venkman, and Frank Welker voiced Ray Stantz in the series, which ran for 152 episodes with 7 seasons, airing on ABC for the entirety of its run. It ultimately ended in the fall of 1991. Though the end was likely expedited by the release of Ghostbusters 2 in 1989, The Real Ghostbusters expanded upon one of the most iconic franchises of the 1980s that still exists in pop culture today and provided viewers with years of entertainment up until and after the release of the 1989 sequel film. Number 6, Jem and the Holograms. Premiering on October 6, 1985, and the only musical television series, Gem centers around the life of Jerrica Barton and her alter ego, which is the series' titular character. The first is the manager and owner of an entertainment company, but the second is the lead singer of a rock group, the Holograms. The Holograms also consists of two other alternate entities she has created based upon two of her friends through the use of an advanced computer named Synergy, created by Jerrica's father, known to be the ultimate audio-visual entertainment synthesizer, while also playing the part of a mother figure and mentor.
Don't touch that wire! Any fallen power line could be live and dangerous. If you see a fallen power line, call the police or the power company right away.
The Holograms would go up against other successful groups such as the Misfits, also in pursuit of greatness, and tackle a multitude of challenges throughout the duration of 65 episodes, coming to an end in 1988 after 3 seasons. Though it may not be one of the more recognizable names on this list, Gem was an integral part of 80s pop culture that has earned the position of our 6th best cartoon of the 80s. Number 5, Thundercats. It's easy to see how Thundercats earned a spot on the top 5 of this list. Though the cat's existence in pop culture persists today, the series originally ran for a few seasons beginning on January 3rd, 1985, and captured a group of human-cat hybrid creatures who live on a different planet than our own and fought off evil mutants. One of the most powerful and their main arch-nemesis was Mum-Ra, who was a master of magic. A different lifestyle certainly, but that didn't matter for audiences as the cartoon immediately resonated with them. The original 1980 series is what truly defines the franchise, with many who remember the classic series utilizing an array of catchphrases that are humorously applicable to life.
Your instincts may be correct, but one does not make decisions by instinct alone.
And allowing Thundercats to live on 4 decades later. Number 4, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle power.
Probably the most famous turtles to ever exist, it would be difficult to imagine you're unfamiliar with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise. Based upon the original comic series created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, featuring a group of human-like turtles with ninja abilities that mutated from a chemical ooze. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles became an animated series on December 8, 1987, and would expand upon the Sly Turtles' antics dramatically by bringing them to a new format that was successful for a total of 193 episodes across 10 seasons. The 4 turtles were named by the Super Sensei Splinter, who was a rat that was also mutated by the same ooze. They go by the names of Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael, and each of them had different personalities and fighting abilities. TMNT would protect the streets of New York from villains such as Shredder, Krang, Bebop, Rocksteady, and many more. Not only were they successful in future decades, pushing an assortment of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles products, but a total of 5 additional Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series, as well as 4 films, have also been released since the 1987 original. TMNT was certainly integral to the success of the franchise and almost equally impactful upon pop culture, making it our 4th best cartoon series of the 80s. Number 3, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
And the Masters of the Universe.
One of the most iconic cartoons on this list. Every 80s baby remembers He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Set on the alien planet of Eternia, the classic cartoon tells the story of the prince of the mysterious planet who, when he wields the sword of power, turns into series star He-Man. The strongest man in the entire universe, and his crew were referred to as the Masters of the Universe for their superhero-like powers, taking on a myriad of strange and bewildering villains, with Skeletor being the main one. The cartoon series first debuted on television on December 5th, 1983, and would run for 2 years until 1985, airing 130 episodes across 2 seasons and cementing the classic series' place in the history of the entertainment industry. Today, we have an array of projects that are spin-offs of the original He-Man animated series. Netflix released 2 specials, Masters of the Universe and Masters of the Universe Revelation, which only further highlights just how memorable the He-Man franchise really is. Because of the original animated series' staying power, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe earned the spot as our 3rd best cartoon of the 1980s. Number 2, Disney's Ducktales. Lo and behold, Disney pops up again on their list, but much higher this time. Premiering on September 18, 1987, Ducktales takes place in the Donald Duck universe after the iconic character has gone away for a few months and is forced to leave his 3 mischievous nephews with their Uncle Scrooge McDuck. He manages to utilize their energy for good and help him in his pursuit of success and wealth, following the crew along with a variety of adventures and helping cement the series' place in not just Disney's history, but the 1980s as well. What viewers received ultimately was 100 total episodes of DuckTales that spanned 4 seasons and a film which was released in anticipation of the series' 4th and final season, further highlighting the series' success and the power of the creative minds at Disney. Disney has always been a dominant force in animation, and now they've earned the title for our second best animated series of the 1980s. Number 1, Alvin and the Chipmunks. The 80s series being a follow-up to the original 1960s music and animated works, the Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise has been around longer than most of us have been alive. On September 17, 1983, NBC began airing the sequel series Alvin and the Chipmunks, which brought the industry's most iconic chipmunks to a new generation of viewers and allowed them to follow along with the chipmunks' antics and their relationships with the Chipettes. The Chipmunks also went on a variety of adventures that both entertained audiences and made them laugh in the process, permeating pop culture more and more, one episode at a time. The 1980s Alvin and the Chipmunks animated series ran for a successful 102 episodes, spanning across 8 seasons. But the success certainly didn't stop there. A variety of other music and films were released throughout the decades, and eventually, the Chipmunks made their way to the silver screen when Fox collaborated with the series. While the franchise's success doesn't define the individual projects in it, 1983's Alvin and the Chipmunks brought the characters to life and allowed them to connect with audiences in a new way. Which propelled the Chipmunks to massive success. Thus, Alvin and the Chipmunks ranks as our best cartoon of the 1980s. We hope you enjoyed our top 10 cartoons of the 1980s. Which one caught your interest the most? Do you agree with our list? Tell us what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Share with a friend, and make sure you visit thatsclassic.net. And thank you for watching.